Welcome back to Hot Seat Now. I'm your host, Mike Sanderson. Now very pleased to be joined by our local MP, the Liberal Ginette Petitpas Taylor. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, it's going to be a whole ton of fun. And you've been very busy this summer.
I have been.
Coming back home to the haunt.
Yes.
Supposed to be in Ottawa. You guys pick up in a couple of weeks, but been very busy.
Yeah, well, Moncton and Dieppe and Riverview, there's always something going on. I said every weekend since I've been elected as the Member of Parliament, I've realized there's a festival going on every weekend in our community, which is fantastic. But aside from that, there's always many activities that are going on. And I made a promise to my constituents when I got elected that I want it to be very active and also that I want it to be accessible. And that doesn't just mean being at your office, it also means engaging with your constituents on a regular basis. So I find oftentimes when I go out to these events, many people will come and see me, talk to me about different issues, and it's fantastic. It's a good way to connect. So I've been very busy this summer.
You'd have to be blind not to see you at all the stuff that you've been this summer, because you go to everything, you know.
I certainly try my best. We really go through the activities that are coming out, usually a month in advance. And if you look at my calendar, you can pretty get a good snapshot of what's going to be going on in the month. But again, it's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to get to know your community, and that's really what it's all about for me.
That kind of leads into the next question. Do you find going to these events really helps with your networking, really helps to feed with your constituents, feed what their issues are, and bring them to a federal level?
Absolutely. I said regularly I go to the farmers market either in Moncton or in Dieppe, and it's always a great opportunity to hear from constituents, from citizens, regarding what are their issues. Are they pleased with the direction that our government is going? Are they not so pleased? Is there something that they want us, to do? So for me, it's really a good way to gauge if we're going in the right direction or not. And also, absolutely, I can bring that back to Ottawa and share what they're telling me here in the city.
Now, one recent announcement that was just underway is a new renovation of the Riverfront Park Trail, which is just outside the studio actually here, which is kind of cool. $500,000, which is excellent, to get some rerouting a little bit and some touch-ups as well, but a rerouting around the Rogers parking lot. What should constituents be expecting out of that renovation?
Well, first of all, we really want to make sure that our Riverfront Trail is really safe and accessible, and we really want people to use it to its fullest. So the monies, the investments that we're putting there are really going to make sure that we can enhance that experience. A part of that enhancement is to make sure that it's safe, because we know that in the parking lot sometimes there has been some close mishaps. So we really want to make sure that we can make it more safe and secure. And also there's a lookout point, or a lookout building, I should say, just behind Chateau Moncton, I believe it is, and really nothing is in that building right now. So we really want to make something out of that to make it more useful. We really see our riverfront really developing even more. Oftentimes I hear people say that they feel that Moncton is almost like a mini Ottawa with all of the investments that we're making, with our bike trails and our walking trails. So we really want to make sure that we make those investments because people want them. Also, we want to attract people in our community. There's no better way to attract people than when we can share with them all of these nice, issues that we have, and people are really pleased with that.
Now, moving towards another awesome friend of the show, which is Nicolas Beltran, who was on here a couple of months ago. He had an interesting situation in terms of immigrating to Canada. He's been here for a while, just finally got those papers signed and passed through, and he is a Canadian, a very proud Canadian, and has done some awesome business this summer. Which is sweet. But I understand that you were quite a helping hand in that scenario. Can you tell us a little bit how you helped his story?
Yeah, without getting into specifics, because I really can't do that. But oftentimes when individuals are facing some challenges when it comes to immigration files, oftentimes they come and see their local MP, and I really encourage people to do so. I mean, if they're having issues. So when individuals like him would come to the office, we certainly do all that we can to make the contacts that are needed and to make sure that we understand exactly what are the issues, what are the challenges. So in those types of cases, sometimes we're able to troubleshoot and also to kind of help that file move along. And in many cases, we get some positive outcomes, just like we did with him. And again, we are really doing all that we can in this area to really attract immigrants here, because we recognize that there's a huge need here, and especially young immigrants that have young families. When they want to, put their roots here, we really want to do all that we can to make sure that they can stay here. And that was just a fabulous example of exactly that happening.
Now, in not just mentioning immigration, but in terms of the role of an MP, maybe some people don't necessarily know that that kind of file helping can be done by the MP. Maybe there's some other things that an MP can do that people don't necessarily realize.
Yeah, great question, actually. Many people, if you ask them in a run of a day, what does their MP do? I'm sure a lot of them probably just don't know. know. There's more than cutting ribbons, I can tell you that. That's the fun part of the job when you go make funding announcements. But in a run of a day, we work with a lot of constituents regarding a lot of federal files. So let it be immigration files, passport issues. It could be individuals that are having issues getting their guaranteed income supplement, their EI files. So any type of federal program that people are having challenges with, oftentimes they'll come and see us. And again, we'll make those phone calls that are needed in Ottawa to see what the issues are and is there a way that we can fast track, the process for them. So we encourage all of our constituents, if there are any issues, to come and see us. My office is very central. It's at 272 St. George Street. If I'm not there, I've got great staff that work with me, a great team, and they are always willing, to help the people that we meet with or that come in. The other thing as well that oftentimes that people don't realize when they come see their member of parliament, if there's any special activities that are going on or any birthday celebrations and they want special certificates from the Prime Minister or the Governor General or myself, we can help facilitate that process as well. And sometimes individuals will come and see us because some individuals just are a bit confused as to which level of government does what. So sometimes we have people that come and see us regarding parking issues, or sometimes they come see us for healthcare issues. We are certainly going to make sure that we also direct them in the right area. And if we can help them with those situations as well, we'll do all that we can. So sometimes we're almost like a triage center, and we kind of make sure that people know where they need to go. I always want to make sure that the customer service experience when they come and see us is good. Because at the end of the day, I want our clients to be satisfied when they leave the office.
And really, if you were to boil that down to a key bullet point, it is helping people.
That's exactly it.
And if you were to look at a theme of your entire public life, it would be helping people. Can you kind of fill us in a little bit more? Before 2015, where was it that, why politics, and why did you jump into that?
Sure. Well, I had a fantastic career in the RCMP, I have to say, for almost 24 years. I worked at the Kodiak RCMP here in Moncton, and I was in charge of the Victim Services Program. When I gave my resignation after I won the election, not that I wanted to lose the election, so I'll qualify that, but I did give my resignation with a heavy heart because I thoroughly had a great career there. I didn't leave my career because I wasn't content and satisfied, but I also wanted to get involved at another level, as I really wanted to influence good public policy and affect change. So I put my name forward and worked very hard at the campaign, and I am where I am now. But I oftentimes hear people say, geez, Ginette, what a switch that was from social work to victim services to politics. And when I really reflect on that, and oftentimes I'll tell people, the role of an MP, as you said, is really about building relationships with people, helping and problem solving. My work as a victim services worker was very much the same thing. Perhaps the scenario, was very different, perhaps less dramatic as well, but really those skills are very much transferable. It's all about building relationships with people, and it's about helping them with the situation that they're faced with. Let's be frank, most people come and see their MPs when things aren't going all that well, but we also do have people that come and see us because they have special events and they want us present. So we really try to engage with our constituents as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely fair enough. So you're going back to Ottawa in a couple of weeks as
Yes.
session opens up again. So how is Ottawa? You've been there for 2 years now. So what do you like about it?
We've been there for almost 2 years, yes. There's still, every day there's lots to learn. But when we're in Ottawa, we have a very busy legislative agenda. So there's a lot of legislation that we're working on. So things are really busy. Enjoy it tremendously. When I'm in Ottawa, of course, we're working on different legislation that has to go through. So the days go by very quick down there. Typical day starts at about 7:30 in the morning, and we usually finish, it could be anywhere between 7:30 or 9:30 at night. That's the typical, day in Ottawa. Aside from being in the House of Commons, we also meet regularly with stakeholders and meet with individuals that want to see us regarding different riding issues, or at the local level, but also at the national level as well. So there's always something to learn and always something to do, and we're certainly not bored.
That's for sure. We've got like 30 seconds. Was it what you expected in Ottawa? Is it what you were expecting?
Yes and no. Things move a bit slow sometimes in Ottawa. I'm a bit hyper, as you can tell, so I really like to move things along. And sometimes, it takes a bit longer than I would like to see it take. But at the end of the day, I recognize that I have to respect the process. But it certainly is a great experience. I represent the best riding in Canada. Moncton, Riverview, Dieppe, there's a lot going on, a lot of growth going on. And I'm just very honored to be the Member of Parliament for the riding.
There you go. And we're very honored to have you on this show. Thank you so much, Ginette Petitpas-Taylor. You can check out more information from her, GinettePetitpas-Taylor.liberal.ca or liberal.ca if you want to. Ginette, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.